What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 82. My name is Bret, aka Enigma 9011, and today we got another good episode for you guys. A lot of interesting topics we're going to be talking with you, to you, about, for you guys to listen to and watch to. I don't know. Remember, guys, if you want to catch this podcast live, you go over to twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join in the chat, join in on the conversation. We'd love to have you. If you can't catch it live, that's okay. Go over to youtube.com, search Enigma9011, where it's posted out topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement. And last but not least, guys, remember merch store. You get all of your swag over there, t-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand. Support us. It would be greatly appreciated. So yes, another episode. Yes, another solo one, as you can see. But I'm looking forward to it. We got some interesting topics today. Not gonna lie, kind of came in under the wire of thinking of a third one, but we got some good ones today. I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys about them. And we're just going to go right into the fire, jump right on in with more Wandavision, because I know everybody's been loving talking about it, and I've been loving chatting with you guys about it, what our thoughts and feelings about it are. So since last podcast, we'd had episode 5 and 6 drop. So similar to last week, or last podcast rather, I'm going to go, I made my notes, and there are plenty from these two episodes. We're going to go just episode 5 notes, episode 6 notes, and then general thoughts overall of what's going on, what are we thinking, etc., etc. So I'm sorry if these are jumbled thoughts, similar to last podcast. Like, I take these notes as I'm watching them, and it's just very quick, jotted down things. So hopefully everything I wrote down for episode 5 makes sense, and if I don't remember it fully, I apologize. All right, let's see. So episode 5 was a big one. A lot of things happened. A lot of people freaked out at the ending, as I did as well. So I think 5 has a little bit more that went down than 6 comparatively, at least for the shock value. But let's get started on episode 5. So just a note that I noticed during their recap, it's not a missing person, it's the missing town. I don't remember if I saw something online or something that said, like, who's the missing person that they're looking for, thinking that maybe that was going to be a reference to somebody else or an Easter egg or whatever it might be, but it is that town of Westview, specifically Eastview, whatever it was. We're up to the 80s or 90s now. I think talking with the parentals, they said it was more 90s themed. So we got that. I wrote down Hex doesn't work on kids. I'm not sure what I meant by that. Agnes got back in the picture. She was missing in episode 4, I believe. We saw her in 3 doing the weird actor stuff with the other neighbor. But Agnes is back in the picture. The weird thing about Agnes in this one is, speaking of the actor thing, she was kind of acting asked if she wanted to do her, Wanda wanted her to do her lines over again. Almost like an actor, like she's, like obviously cognizant of what's going on. So that was odd. Thank you. She couldn't put the kids to sleep with the hex magic. Thank you. That's what I was thinking. Okay, appreciate that. So yeah, I thought that was odd, just how obviously, she seems aware of this being Wanda's, like, twisted storyline or whatever, or I don't know if Wanda made her say that or whatever after Vision was questioning things. So that was odd. So yeah, I had the prisoner feel like fear of them doing things wrong. I think it was the previous episodes. Hold on, let me no, okay, we'll learn later that she resurrected Vision from his remains. This leads me to question why Vision's not part of, like, the scripted world. Like, why does he have, like, this free will type thing. Episode 6 is going to lead to more questions. Like, why? We've talked about it before, but like, he's starting to question this reality. Like, why is he not affected like the rest of these people in town and stuff like that? It's just, that's a weird thing to think about. We had the kids age up real quick. We got the new intro with Vision as a kid photos, which was odd. Yeah, he has no memories, right? Which we're going to talk about in episode 6. Like, he just doesn't recall anything. So let's see. Wiped test results. Don't remember that either. Also okay, so I just talked about she scooped up Vision's body and resurrected him. The way they're presenting it, I'm sure, see, you guys know what I'm talking about with these notes. I appreciate it. So it seems like the show's almost painting Wanda as a villain here. Now, I'm not sure if that is obviously true to the fact that she is a villain, or if it's supposed to be like one of those classic kind of misdirects, if that makes sense. Like, oh, we're going to show part of the footage that makes her look like a villain, but in reality, it's this thing that she's trying to, avoid or save him from, or, protect. So just me to know that. Jeff pointed out the Monica's test results. They wanted to run them again, but it cut away. Thank you for that. Appreciate you guys understanding my notes better than I do after a full week. So yeah, I already mentioned the Vision's body resurrected. They got a puppy. Okay, they're completely disregarding their powers now in front of others, and Vision seemed very, bothered by that, obviously. So magic in front of Agnes she used. We had the age jump again for the kids to take care of the dog. Let's see. There was a small Easter egg. They talked about an aerospace engineer as they're out in the real world in the lab. I've noticed some people talking about like Sword could be a way to add the Fantastic Four into this universe, into the MCU. I think that'd be a cool way and a pretty easy way to kind of scoot them in there into that storyline. So I was just wondering if that added to the rumors of that main general guy is kind of an ass, might be Hydra. Maybe. Yeah, he's got a lot of things going on here. He apparently has Monica has baggage with Captain Marvel, because I think he brought up the name, or just like brought it up somehow, or somehow I got mentioned, and she seemed like perturbed by it. I'm not sure if it's just because like maybe she hasn't seen her since she left in the movie. I don't think she's been back to Earth, so maybe it's just like, hey, I was a kid, and then all of a sudden, bye. Speaking of test results, we had more tests. We learned that the things that go into the hex bubble thing, whatever's real items, they get manipulated by the hex magic. So we learned that Monica entered with that bulletproof vest, and then that kind of got infused and transformed into her clothes of that time period. So it had that Kevlar into it. You doubt Hayward is Hydra. Hydra's pretty wiped out at this point. I don't know, because they seem to have they've been deep-seated for a while. Like we had, obviously, in, what movie was it? We had that senator that was Hydra, and then, was it just, it was fucking Winter Soldier, right? We had that big part there. So I don't know. It's tough to say, like, if there's anybody still around. Hydra's the only evil government organization in Marvel. Okay, I think the reason I'm thinking Hydra, and I brought it up with my parents today as we were talking quick about it, is like just with the advertisements, the commercials of being Hydra, Like, obviously, it's still a thing, and they're still making it prevalent. But also, it could just be that, obviously, Wanda has the past experience with Hydra, with the experimentation on her and her brother, giving them the powers. Like, maybe that's why Hydra is present in these ads, because technically, Wanda's going to be making the ads, too, right? Like, how she's putting them out. So, yeah, I just, how much of a dick this guy is, it seems like he is trying to set up Wanda as this big bad, as I mentioned earlier. So I don't know. It's odd. Let's see, Papa Griff says, number one, why does the dog go for the outlet to be renamed Sparky? Two, how long? How does the dog detect the drone coming? Why do some of the sword, etc., drive swiftly to the barrier owners clearly in walking distance? Four, what is Lagos? Lagos I made a note of too. I thought it sounded familiar, but I couldn't put a finger on it. As for the outlet, I don't know. It's a dumb dog. As the detecting the drone, I assume the sound. Why do they drive swiftly? I don't know. Cars are convenient. I don't know. Let's see. I feel like it makes more sense to introduce a new organization aside from going back to something that started with Cap. Maybe, but you still got Bucky around and Falcon because like they're going to be dealing with Zemo obviously in this new show. Not that they've tied Zemo to Hydra in Civil War, but maybe they will. There. Just make it the town, make it a show. Why would she broadcast it? It would just draw attention. Yeah, with the ads and everything. I don't know. It's odd. Let's see. So, I mentioned the puppy, Magic, Fantastic Four rumors. I talked about the clothes. That was the last thing. That explains the change in the helicopter. I made a note of the hexagon, like Jeff mentioned. I don't know. I think it was last week. Maybe it was the episode 1 and 2 one. How it's referencing the hex magic, obviously, from the comics. Let's see. Email from Sword was another communication, like the radio to the the coworker. I thought that was neat. Wakes up the coworker. Let's see. Did Wanda send Vision to work? Like, put that in his schedule as a punishment because he was starting to question things? We brought up Pietro again. Okay, so yeah, this is where I started making some notes on the Hayward. I was like, is he a Hydra agent in charge of Sword? This dick is framing Wanda. Yep. Her accent is like back and forth. So, she said take it again. Oh, I think that's when she was out in the real world. When she said, like, she was going to take control of something or take things back, like referencing resurrecting Vision. I thought that was a reference to Thanos, like how Thanos obviously took it away from her. So, like, if they're going to take Vision, like, she'll take it back again by any means or something like that along those lines. Let's see. Stronger barrier now. We got the bigger hexagon or just the stronger wall. Assume the accent is part of the hex world, similar to rewriting personalities. Fair enough. Somebody online said it was like Black Widow had taught her how to like hide it. She did sing with an accent, right? To like hide it. Because I think she started losing it after Age of Ultron. Or like Civil War, like she was incognito and doing the hiding at the very beginning of the movie with crossbone stuff. So yeah, as Papa Griff mentioned, Lagos was brought up. It sounds familiar. I can't pinpoint that. We talked about, let's see, Sparky the dog getting hurt and then obviously dying from the berry bush. The kids were saying the truth of like, you're hurt, things hurt, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought it was very hypocritical almost that Wanda's telling them don't age and don't run away from your problems while she's doing that in the world. Like, she's not following her own advice. Let's see. Mailman. Papa Griff's bringing up the mailman. Lagos is a place. Yeah. So, like, they brought it up. It sounded very familiar. I'm not sure if it was MCU familiar or maybe it's just, I assume it's MCU familiar. But yeah, I just could not place where it was from. I don't know if it was brought up in another movie. It's where they fought Crossbones in Civil War. Oh, okay. Okay. So I wonder where she... Yeah. Okay, so they did show that footage, I think, in this one. It was on the... Yeah, the mailman said their mom could fix anything. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So yeah, maybe it was just notes of that incident. I don't remember it was the paper towel commercial. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, the commercials start getting weirder in these 2 episodes. Like, they didn't match up as much. Obviously, this one does now, with you guys explaining it. The cleaning up her mess. Gotcha. Vision confronted the real people's pain by waking them up. Paper towels didn't work. Like in the TV show world, she used some paper towels and they didn't work, or they didn't work in the ad. If so, that's kind of funny. They couldn't like fully fix Lagos for when you make a miss. Oh, interesting. Okay. They're playing around with that a little bit. In the commercial, they didn't work. Oh, okay. Neat. Yeah, no, I understand the reference of what it means now. I did not remember that was the location. I haven't watched Civil War in quite some time. I did not remember, but no, everything you guys are saying about the location, the ad makes sense. Right, they're doing things they didn't intend fully. And couldn't clean it up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They both made mistakes. Okay. So then we get right to the ending. And we get the big reveal of Pietro, aka Quicksilver from the X-Men universe, being in here. I thought it was funny they made Darcy made the joke of the recast. Peter Maximoff, yeah. Making the joke of the recast. It's funny that they're pointing it out, and it's not like they're going out of their way to point it out. It's not just like, oh, it's Quicksilver, haha. Like, they got to be acknowledging it for a reason. So, as we'll continue to talk about in episode 6, there's some thoughts on that. So, these were just some notes I made after the episode of like what I was thinking. So I was wondering, are we going to use the X-Men universe instead of making a whole new backstory? Or, granted, this is before episode 6 stuff, so this is just my thoughts there. So yeah, are we going to use the X-Men universe instead of making a whole new backstory, explaining why they were not present prior? At the moment, I thought Agnes was not hidden to the fact like others, of like what's going on. Similar to like I brought up how she asked about lines. Like I thought she was different from like, let's say, the coworker, how you had to do the memory thing. Obviously, we'll learn in episode 6 that's not the case. I wrote down recast someone in town. I'm not sure what that was about. I was wondering if it wasn't the original Pietro because she didn't have the body, like, so she couldn't resurrect him like Vision. Maybe it was that. Vision should recognize Pietro, but doesn't. Possibly why he asks who it is at the door, like confirming it's somebody completely different. So yeah, Papa Griff brings up the clothes again. So the reason they were bulletproof. So whatever goes into the hexagon bubble, she modifies and alters to fit the reality of like the 80s, 70s, whatever show, era, the town. So like the beekeeper outfit was originally the radiation suit. So like she altered it to be the beekeeper. So Monica, when she went in, was wearing the bulletproof vest. So she can't, I don't know if she can't create, but she didn't create. Like Jeff said, she transformed it, took the Kevlar material from that and transformed it into the dress and other clothing that she was wearing. So like when they did the test at the facility, the sword facility, like she realized it was Kevlar, and then that's why she borrowed Agent Wu's gun and then shot it to kind of prove that point. She couldn't change what it was made of, but she shifted the molecules around or something. Yeah, something like that. Vision doesn't remember anything before the dawn, which we learn in episode 6. So at the time of episode 5, I was thinking he should remember Quicksilver because Vision was present while Quicksilver was alive. Like in that final battle on Sokovia, floating meteor. Like, he said it in 5-2. Oh, my apologies. Well, okay. So that's what I was thinking, because I missed that part, was like he should have recognized, or at least I thought he should have recognized Quicksilver and been like, that's not him. So I thought that was odd. Yeah, but these clothes came out. Why would they remain? We see what happens to Vision 6. So I think the reason Vision in 6 stays the same is because I don't think she altered his physical appearance like he does to hide. Yeah, she resurrected him, but I don't think she changed what he was already. He gets shredded. Oh, like, well, okay. So that's because, like, do you mean the peeling away, like, as he's trying to break and, like, his material starts going back into the bubble? Because I think that is, like, in the bubble, he's alive, right? He's resurrected. Outside of the bubble is reality, where either the magic doesn't take place, so, like, he's dead, technically. He's a corpse. So I think that's, like, him degrading back to that dead body, I think. Yeah, Monica just gets chucked out, no effects. Vision gets shredded. So yeah, so because Vision is dead and a corpse, I was thinking that was why, like, he was doing that peel thing, like he was re-dying. That sounds weird, but looked more like it was trying to suck him back in. Possibly. Maybe like she had some kind of barrier. Maybe that's why it was such a struggle. Or maybe like not a barrier, but some kind of spell in effect that would keep him in. I don't know. Wanda wanted Monica out. She doesn't want Vision out. Maybe that's the case. Looked like he was dying again in dust. It could have been that. Like, it could have been either way. Either Wanda's trying to keep him in and, like, he's really struggling to stay out, or it's the dying thing of, like, he can't stay alive or together. No, he didn't fully get dusted. So, I mean, we're going right into episode 6 at the end, but no, she'll end up expanding the bubble, the radius, and, like, swallowing him back up to save him. But no, he was, like, what seemed like essentially dying or in a lot of pain outside before she had done that. Like, Darcy was very concerned, and everybody else was just staring at him like, what are you doing? Arming the guns and whatnot. So yeah, moving on to episode 6. So this was a fun one. I didn't think a lot. I think it was definitely down. Oh no, okay, yeah. But he did not get dusted. Well, yeah. Actually, I think he did. He might have. I'm trying to remember. I know she obviously dusted. He was a corpse, so, like, why would he dust? Yeah, Thanos definitely plucked him. I don't know. He was dead. What I mean by dusting is, like, he's falling back apart into the dead body that he was. Like, that's what I mean. No need to dust. Yeah, exactly. He's already taken care of. I just mean, like, he was dead. So maybe he was reverting back to that corpse because her magic was not present there to have him resurrected or whatever. So yeah, maybe he's like decomposing or whatever. Okay, so yeah, a lot of Malcolm in the Middle vibes here. Breaking the fourth wall I talked about. They made sure to show. Oh, okay. So episode 6. So Quicksilver's now here. Hello. They did a flashback to Age of Ultron, and they showed the original Quicksilver. So I thought that was important. They showed Aaron Tyler Johnson. Is that his name? Original Quicksilver. They showed him. Then they show, Quicksilver, new Quicksilver. Thank you. So we're not just like, whoosh, cutting him out of existence, saying that he's him. It's clearly a separate entity, Quicksilver. Like, it's a totally different person. So we get that confirmation right away in the recap. This is a different person. So overall, I thought this was a fun episode in that not as much happened as 5, but it was more of a treat. Does Age of Ultron Quicksilver does have Age of Ultron Quicksilver memories, though? Kind of. We're skipping ahead, guys. We're starting at the beginning. Like, let's get through I'm going one note at a time from the start of the show. All right. So, a lot of fun little Easter eggs in this one. We had Wiccan dressed up in his Halloween costume as his hero counterpart in the comics. We got the original Scarlet Witch and Vision and Quicksilver, which was cool to see in those costumes. I wrote suppressed trauma, Halloween in parentheses. Don't know what that is. So yeah, a lot of breaking the fourth wall, as we talked about with Malcolm in the Middle. I think they were playing a PS1, so I just thought that was a little fun note to do. You can fill that in. Okay, please do. The second Quicksilver noticed, or the new Quicksilver notices that the kid's doing the fourth wall talking. So I'm not sure if that's like his whatever. I wasn't sure if that was like him noticing as an outside force of like, they're playing to the crowd or playing to this TV aspect. Gotcha. Suppressed trauma was Peter's reasons why he looked different. He has all the memories, talks about Halloween as a kid. Gotcha. Where they got the fish from the lady. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, they try and explain the different look. But that's the thing too. Like, Wanda realizes that he looks different too. Like, and we're going to continue talking about it in this episode, but like, it just sets this up so much as like, this is not, it's not Quicksilver. Like, what is this actor outside force thing? Like, who is he? That's my big thing. As we mentioned, well, we didn't talk about it in 5, but like, Quicksilver was not, according to her, was not planned by her to knock on the door. Please don't say Mephisto. I don't know. I've seen that rumor flying around too. I don't know. It'd be interesting if it is, because like, he has the links obviously to Blade and to Ghost Rider, but like, obviously in the comics too, technically, if we're doing the House of M storyline. But I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about that, and I think Doctor Doom has been a rumor as well. I don't know. People seeing Mephisto in that show like people see Jesus in toast. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before with the MCU. Is like, they do a good job of adapting the current storyline or the comic book storylines, but also doing something different, if that makes sense. Like, obviously Civil War was based on the Civil War comics, right? But they made it their own thing. Like, it has its similarities, but it's a new thing as well, which I think makes it which makes it entertaining instead of just, bullet point for bullet point, just lining up 100%. Obviously they couldn't do 100%, but so I think if, like, we're doing elements of House of M obviously with this show, and we're doing I think Jeff mentioned a more recent comic book run that they're also kind of pulling from. Like, inspiration is obviously a good thing, to use these as examples to be like, oh, that's a cool storyline, let's do that, but what if we swapped it? So, like, while obviously the Mephisto thing in the comics was big, it'd be interesting to see, like, what new thing they're telling here, if that makes sense. I hope that does. Like, what's the new thing? Or how are they spinning this a different way to tell this story? I don't know. Assume she recognized because in the Hex she's still mostly in control, and in the show she's supposed to be shocked by her brother. If it doesn't look like him, felt very soap opera-y. Interesting. Okay. So maybe she's playing it up for the show to not break. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, Quicksilver noticing the fourth wall is the last thing I talked about. I thought it was funny. Whoops. He had the mom tattoo on his shoulder. That was just a funny note. Another note about the sword dude has to be evil. I'm just not a fan of Hayward at all. Still fear from the blip. She was testing his memories. Realized he looks different. We had the fun Kick-Ass reference because he was in Kick-Ass along with the other Quicksilver. Those movies. Okay, this was a funny one because it took me a hot second to realize. Yes, Aaron Taylor Johnson, thank you. It took me a hot second to realize, but so obviously the whole episode is Halloween based, right? Kids suddenly everywhere. Exactly, we're right on that point. It took me a second. I just was like, yeah, this is normal. Wait a minute, there's kids here. Just out of nowhere. And we made a big deal, obviously, in other episodes to point out, where are the kids? I think Vision says it in 5, like, where's all the kids? Blah, blah, blah. Why aren't they here? So yeah, just out of nowhere, they're going to appear, and obviously Quicksilver is going to bring up, like, oh, that was ethical, like, they're all sleeping in their beds or whatever. And the For the Children thing in episode 2, yeah. So, like, all of a sudden now they're here. Yeah, that was odd. We have the broken woman setting up decorations, and she was crying. We had a single tear going. Playground stands empty every time I walk to work. Yeah, so she was kind of doing like this repeat, like putting up the ghost. So there was that. So she's kind of doing the robotic move. If all the kids and parents are out, who's giving treats? That's a good question. Who's giving out those full-size candy bars? Keeps them all sleeping in their beds. No need to traumatize the past. The usual holiday came out. Mm-hmm. Further they are, the scene from the glitch, or the lack of a better term. Yeah, I'm going to talk about... I think I bring it up later, but yeah, as they like go closer to the outside, the full radius or circumference or whatever the fuck it is of the barrier, like they're frozen in place, you know, and Agnes was too until Vision woke her up. Perimeter. Thank you. What are math terms? So yeah, we had another very weird ad. We solved the mystery of the Lagos paper towels in episode 5, but Yo Magic, the yogurt. What the fuck? Like, I couldn't pull anything from that. We had no Stark references, no Hydra references. I was just like, this is odd. He freaking started out, yeah, trying to, like, it was so weird. Kid protected, he died trying to get open to eat it. Yeah. Darkest ad so far. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Hungry. It used to be like that all the time. I'd say further from town center, people have glitched in town when one I wasn't paying attention or got distracted. I think it's about far stretching stuff. Maybe. And that could be bring more problems with obviously the area being expanded at the end of this episode. Let's see. We had a fun little cameo at the movie theater. We had The Incredibles and Parent Trap playing. Let's see. We had the accent. Oh, Quicksilver. New Quicksilver had like a New York accent. I want to say it was a New York accent. Maybe it was a Jersey. But he kind of broke that when it was just him and Wanda talking. So we got that going. movies of different years. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it was like 2006 for Incredibles. I don't know. Jersey. Yeah. Thick boy. Let's see. Hayward's looking through the barrier, tracking Vision. And we get it was cataract later was the code for that. So interesting why he's tracking him. 2004. Shit, I was close. Let's see. Edge of Town folks are frozen. Vision's looking for a way out. Agnes was leaving, or at least her car was on the edge. That seemed odd. Technically a 2000 show. So yeah, her car was there. She had white hair. I thought that was a note. A lot of people, obviously, we talked about the Doctor Strange tie-in with Agnes. Is she his like assistant? I don't know if that's the case now. I think that would have made more sense if she was the free will we've talked about. Obviously, with the last episode, she's talking about the lines. In previous episodes, she's talked with the neighbor about like shady shit going on. So I think that would have made more sense with that, but with the mind thing, I don't know. No one escaped. Yeah. When Vision woke her out, she didn't freak out the way the other guy did. No, she kind of went psychotic with it. At least she had that, like, crazy laughter. Yeah. She definitely didn't. I don't think they skipped 90s. I think that was episode 5. Norm freaked out because he was worried about his life, right? She didn't ask for help. She asked if he was here to help, and then just kept saying dead and all was lost. Yeah, she, like I said, she went fucking psychotic with it. 5 was 80s. Was it? I don't know. Let's see. Dead yelling. Yeah, I brought that up. Vision doesn't know about the Avengers. How'd she get that far away from town was a question I asked. Okay, so back to Cataract. So I have obviously Hayward's tracking Vision. So I just wrote a note of like I was trying to figure out or think of like there's got to be some point Wanda's going to freak out kind of. So I was wondering if maybe Sword is going to kill Vision, triggering Wanda to do something else. Or is Hayward aiming to do that? Because obviously he's trying to frame Wanda. So that was just a thought. I was like, sketchy. Let's see. Way to get back into Hex, my guy. Don't know what that note is. Let's see. Rewritten cells. Oh, okay. So we talked about Monica. Well, they talked about Monica's blood work. She wants to go back in. But Darcy warns her against that, how she's being rewritten. Oh, thank you. The News got it. See, you guys understand my notes way better than me. I'm like, what? Yes, Monica's contacting someone, and she's going to meet her guy. So I'm like, okay, now we got a new player into this. Who's the guy? Is it the aerospace engineer? I was wondering if it was the guy at the very beginning after she wakes up from the blip. Yeah, the aerospace engineer, I thought that was a Fantastic Four reference. Or, at least kind of linked into those rumors. But I don't know. Yeah, it could be Reed. That'd be cool. Reed Richards wasn't cast yet. Or is it? Secrets. Secrets. Make fun stuff. So yeah, anyways. So yeah, she's meeting somebody. There would have been a leak by now. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, we hope not. Anyways. So yeah, Monica wants to go back in, but her cells are being rewritten. I was wondering if this is how she changed into Photon. Now, is Photon a superhero that worked with Captain Marvel? I think it is, right? So is this how maybe maybe how they're going to work Monica into being Photon. Is her cells being rewritten, getting a power similar to how the Mind Stone obviously gave Wanda and Quicksilver their powers. So I thought that was just a interesting note. Probably how she gets it. Okay, cool. More notes about the hiding kids, making it ethical. Not some stranger was a note I had. I think that was about Quicksilver talking, trying to be connecting with her, saying he wasn't a stranger. No, I had just a question: is why is Wanda falling for it? Why is she falling for this? And does she just want to confide in somebody to feel justified about what she's doing? He's not a stranger, and her husband could talk to her openly. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Jeff, as well. So yeah, I was just like, because clearly she realizes it's not him. So once again, is she falling for it, or is she just looking for this safe space to be like, no, I'm doing the right thing, like to kind of convince herself, if that makes sense? She wants to connect with somebody, yeah, like, because obviously everybody else she can't, because technically they're under her control. So it's like, doesn't really fit the bill there. Yeah, he knows everything she does and seems to approve. Could be just her brain defending itself with another illusion, something. Reassure herself, right? Basically him, but doesn't look like him as far as we know right now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still on the boat, at least right now, with my thinking of like, nah, this is too... Because I don't think it could be Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver. Because a couple notes. So Vision, obviously, she resurrected Vision because she had Vision's body. Like, she couldn't resurrect Quicksilver because Quicksilver's been dead for a minute, a while. So, like, I doubt his body's just kind of plopping around unless she went go digging around or something. So there's that. They don't have the body. They make the note that obviously it's a different Quicksilver with the recap at the beginning, or show the difference, like, so it's not just a recast type thing. And then I mentioned he mentioned the kid. He notices the kids breaking the fourth wall. I thought that was that's just a small thing, but I thought that was odd. That doesn't put him in this world, obviously. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know who he is or what ties he could be, but like, it seems like one of those things like, oh, I'm going to trust you. And then, bash, like he punches her, not literally punches her in the back, but that, the backstab, quick turnaround type thing. She chucked Monica when tried to get friendly, yet she accepts this rando because he says he's a brother. Yeah, that's odd too. I don't know. Maybe she starts feeling guilty about like not trusting Monica. So this guy's like second fiddle. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Dad, yeah, I think so. Wants to believe it's her brother, hoping for the best, maybe. So if he isn't someone pulling the strings, presumably he knows everything he knows because she knows all that. Oh, the illusion thing. Yeah. I don't know. It's just odd. Cataract only is vision tracker, only Hayward access. Okay, I made a note of like, how is he going to come out of the bubble? Is it going to come out changed, or is it going to come out normal? It came out normal. Obviously, we talked about the deteriorating things. He's getting destroyed while leaving. Quicksilver lets out the truth in front of the kids that he's already dead. Quicksilver. So that was odd. So he doesn't... Okay, didn't Jeff earlier say he didn't know Vision? Or somebody said he didn't know, maybe Zulu? And then he said, oh, well, your husband can't die twice. Like, so he clearly knows Vision. I don't know where it is. Okay, well, I don't know. It's funny because he already died twice. Right. Oh, did he say twice? Oh, yeah, because he got plucked, then time rewound, and then... Wait. No. Yeah, Wanda killed him. Pow. Then time rewound. Then he got plucked. So that's twice. Aha. Okay, so yeah. So, sorry, Jeff. Somebody said it. So yeah, Quicksilver says that, but... So he clearly knows what's going on. This Quicksilver. Talked about the bigger radius. Darcy is now in the bubble now, so that's problematic in her case. And I thought it was just funny that Sword turned into a circus. Because they're a bunch of hacks. So yeah, very interesting episodes. Very interesting episodes. Obviously 5 had the bombshell of Quicksilver showing up. And then 6, I feel like 6 led to just a whole lot of questions. It's going to be interesting to see where this Quicksilver thing goes. Because obviously it's a focal point now. We got to figure out what the fuck is going on with them. Obviously we have the repercussions with Vision now escaping, or at least attempting to escape. So we're going to have a stronger lock on him. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where it goes from here. I think we only have 2 more episodes, 7, 8. I think it's just that. What happens next? No more past decades. It might just be going into the full swing of like finale mode, where it's just like, I don't know. 3 more episodes? Oh, it's 9 episodes? Oh, okay, cool. I'm always down for more. Yeah, we'll have to see where it goes from here. You could do a 2010s episode. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here. I think I saw something about Feige saying they're hour-long episodes now. I don't know the legitimacy of that thing I saw. Damn it, now I'm missing things because I went back to see if I did say that. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're good. We just talked about the radius and then things getting changed. Darcy being in the thing. In the bubble now. So. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things play out from here. Last ones will turn into Avengers level type film. Oh, like, yeah, they've been playing already with the aspect ratios when it's been changing timeline. Well, not timelines, time periods, I guess you could say. Real world, outside, in the bubble, whatever. So what is the real timeline of real events in the MCU, and when will they crash into this timeline? So apparently Jeff mentioned, I think it was last podcast, episode 3 and 4, that this is like only a few days after Tony Stark's funeral, right? Like a week. Oh, well, that's not really a different timeline. It's like how like she's presenting the show. 2 or 3 weeks, yeah. Yeah, so Papa Griff's saying like, okay, so the real world outside the bubble is like what, 2025-ish? So like obviously there's only so many more decades to play with if doing the TV thing. So like if this is 90s, let's say, let's be safe, we'll give them the 90s. Like you'll have 2000s, you'll have 2010s. Like there's 2 episodes, and then as your finale of 9, is that just all current day out in the world bubble type thing? You could do that, I suppose. If it is 2000s, then it's like, she keeps dressing up Westview as 2010, 2020, 2030. Won't we go beyond real events? Yeah, I think current date is, because the movie timeline up until Endgame was like current day. So like whenever Endgame was like 2019, 18, and then they jumped 5 years. Yeah, it's like, it's a few years ahead of us. So funeral's on the 29th. I think Wandavision should start 10 days after that. Actually, it's 3 weeks after Hulk brings everyone back. Hulk brings everyone back from what? Oh, to bring the stones back, do the droppy thing. Gotcha. Infinity War was released in 2018. takes place the same year, then time should be 2023. Well, Endgame. I'm guessing Endgame was 2018. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. Days determined by this close meeting and shield. What is this Hulk bringing people back? Is that what I'm thinking? Like when Cap's old man Cap and he drops the stones off? Is that what we're talking? Yeah, they started off canon, and I don't know. I've only seen season 1 all the way through, so I don't know all that. Oh, Hulk snaps him on the 17th. Okay, my apologies. Sorry. Gotcha. Just saying there has to be some point of reason for decking out the sets in various decades and advancing. I think we might have talked about this in episode 1 and 2's talk. I'm not sure if it's just Wanda's, like, way of having a life with Vision or whatever. And skipping ahead, I don't know. Or if it's just the presentation of, like, the studio was having fun with it, of like, hey, we're going to make it a TV show, is how it's presented out to Sword and other places. Why not do different decades and play around with that? I don't know if there's going to be any other reasoning behind the different ages. I don't know. I'm just saying what I'm thinking. I can't give you a clear answer. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, that's just, if you're going with this decade to decade thing, like, oh, it's got to continue throughout. Yeah, the only thing I can think about is, obviously, like I said, you play it safe. We say this is the 90s, and then you got 2000s, so you get a 2010s, and then the only reason they would stop doing the decade to decade is, like, if shit's gonna hit the fan, and then we're focused on just, like, the clash of current day outside the bubble. Like, you know, how we've messed around with the aspect ratios. We've even messed around with the aspect ratios in the presentation in the bubble as well, too. Like, when she's talking to Monica in episode 3, before she kicks her out, like, if it's just going to be presented that way, because now it's the struggle of, like, okay, Wanda's either trying to defend the bubble or defend herself against Hayward, or however this finale is going to play out, you know, kind of thing. So the progression has to be something. She's well out of the happy days. Everything's fine at the end of the episode. Days of the Golden Age. Maybe. Yeah, it's just like the storytelling there too. Seasonal arc standpoint. I assume season finale time in with the Hex message up S side. Yeah, you would think. But obviously we won't know until it happens. Build Vision up again completely. Oh, like a percentage thing? Like a computer download or something like that? Well, no, I could see that, but also he's using different powers. I don't know if that kind of would align with the 60s robot aspect, because he's using his powers to, like, his density powers and other things. I don't know. Yeah, we've seen him do his density thing to, like, travel through stuff. I'm trying to think of what, obviously he's changing his appearance. So I don't know if that lines up with 60s tech, but I don't know. But that is an interesting aspect. Like, maybe he needs to be fully repaired and then he doesn't need her. Seemed like it was Wanda's powers as presented in the show X-Ray Vision, how he walked through things. He's definitely shifting from his real form now. Yeah, he's getting more... he's not hiding it as much as, like, Wanda's not hiding her powers. You would think. True. Yeah, I just thought that was a funny way to present it. But yeah, that's a good point, how the piece of gum messed with him so much in episode 2. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my thing is just like, obviously Sword's obviously now in trouble. Hayward and one other guy made it out in the truck. I can't remember if he had a co-pilot or a passenger rather. So it's going to be interesting to see like what now is going to be the factor that kind of triggers this, gets the ball rolling to the finale. 3 guys. Because obviously they don't have the military base now, so it's not like they could be like, okay, now we're ready to go in, storm the thing. Is it going to be Monica and Agent Wu going in with the guy, or the guy like giving them whatever they need and then trying to talk her down? Like, is that going to trigger whatever finale event? But I don't feel like... Monica's not the evil force that I feel like Wanda's got to stand up against to and fight, though. I haven't seen any of the trailers. I've just been watching the show. So it's like, whatever evil force, let's say, because, like, Wanda, as far as we know, is just doing this because she believes it's right and, like, it's her safety bubble, right? Hayward's trying to frame her as this other thing, potentially. Unless we are going to just go, Wanda's the villain and she's the evil force in Doctor Strange movie or whatever. Which could be, but there has to be something, like, definitive, like, we're getting rid of Vision again, that, like, finally tips her over that edge. But my thinking is they're framing her with this footage. So there has, like, the evil force has to do something else to make it this finale where, like, battle thing, So I don't know. It's going to be interesting seeing what next Friday leads to. Like I said, we got a couple factors to deal with now. We have the increased radius. So does that lead to more issues with, obviously, we talked about the people on the perimeter kind of being frozen in place. So we have the bigger radius, bigger perimeter, whatever. We have Darcy in there. Ow, there goes my knuckle. We got Darcy in there now, stuck. We have Vision. Like, what's his... what's the repercussions he's going to see for trying to escape or get out? We have Quicksilver still being this mystery force. So we got to figure out, like, what... hopefully more about what the fuck is going on with him. Because I just talked about evil force. Maybe he's the mastermind behind this, or like he's the evil force. I know we joked around with Miss Mephisto earlier, but maybe he's just something hidden doing whatever. I did not see the teaser for the second half of the season. No, I did not. So we got to figure out what's going on with him, and then obviously we have the mystery of the guy, the contact, which, I mean, I'm sure will just be like a cheeky little, haha, I'm here, and then never really does anything at all. So, there's that. Jeff, you said you had some Hayward thoughts. Oh, I thought of something. Don't think it's a spoiler, but not going to risk it. Okay, fair enough. Cataract, yep, eye. Vision, tracking, pew, 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 pew. That was the name of the secret file Darcy stayed behind to unlock. Yes. Yeah, she was doing the different firewalls so they would have access to it, and that was the last one she stayed behind to do. Water freezes everything before explaining the only thing that remain frozen are her children. I did not. My only thinking there is, I think they mentioned it in episode 4. The kids are real, technically. So maybe because they're real and not controlled by her magic, they would not get frozen. Let's see. Okay, nothing's called cataract in the comics. Cataract's a milky film covering eyes. Okay. Wouldn't go to sleep with the hex magic too when they were BBs. Yes, that's also true. Pietro suddenly disappeared. I didn't notice that, but maybe he's in the hay bales or whatever. Cataracts are milky film covering eyes, like what we see in Dead Vision did Peter. I don't know where he got blasted to. Okay, cool. Maybe poofed away. Smoke bomb. He got blasted to hell. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what that plays out. But yeah, the kids are real. So that would be my assuming of why they, not get frozen. Office Mark, yeah. They didn't reshoot. Yeah, it's an odd thing. It's an odd thing how that's going to work out. Like, I still don't believe your theory of, like, her getting pregnant and then having to deal with it. I'm just really confused about the whole kid thing. I don't know. Like, it could be, if we're going really hardcore House of M, like, it could be that they're not her illusions, so, like, that's why she doesn't control them type thing. So it's like somebody else putting them there, similar to Quicksilver. I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the rest of the series goes from here. A lot more questions than answers, obviously. Like everything, essentially. I don't feel like we'll really make sense of much of it for maybe a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what this Friday brings. And go from there. But yeah, we'll talk some episodes 7 and 8 next podcast. Oh, Jeff's got another cataract. Vision's dead eyes. Sentient weapons. Can't wait till next episode. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to wait a week in between. But yeah. Well, thank you guys for sweet. I'm just trying to get Hayward looked right at him and said he doesn't really want out, does he? Just felt weird. He really does want out, doesn't he? That felt weird. Oh no, I remember that line. I don't know. I didn't think of it too much because Hayward's a dick. So I don't know. I just thought I didn't think too much of it, but maybe I'll have to go back for that. But yeah, appreciate you guys talking some WandaVision with me. Moving on to topic 2. With our little revelation of episode 5 of WandaVision with Quicksilver showing up from the X-Men universe, I kind of wanted to revisit the X-Men films and just kind of talk about them real quick and just talk about like the hits and misses that these movies had, because they certainly had some good movies. Certainly had some bad movies. Yeah, it's just interesting. It's interesting how this franchise went, like, from such highs to such far lows. So yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to kind of briefly talk about the films and my thoughts about them all. So altogether, let's see, we got these broken up in different eras. We got the X-Men original trilogy. We got the Wolverine trilogy. We got what Wikipedia is calling the X-Men Beginnings films. We got the Deadpool films. And then we got Dead Mutants. I've seen all of these films except for... Did I say Dead Mutants? New Mutants. I've seen all of them except for New Mutants. So we got X-Men X2, X-Men Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine, The Wolverine, Logan, First Class, Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and New Mutants itself. So yeah, I think we definitely started off strong, very strong, with X-Men and X2. I think something that the X-Men franchise had going for it, at least early on in its lifespan, was the casting. I think casting for these films were really good. I think everybody did an excellent job in their role. Obviously, we had the recast of Sabretooth. I think that might have been the only miss, really. But I thought everybody else really played their role well, and nobody felt like out of place or maybe just like not into it or committed like some later roles will show up, and I don't know how they'll play out. I guess. I don't know who Doug Ray Scott is. But yeah, so those were really good. I know a lot. X-Men Last Stand, I know a lot of people fall out with. He's a Scottish actor, gotcha. And that's the thing I want to say about all these films, except for obviously the only one I haven't seen, which is New Mutants, is like there are good aspects of all these films, and at the time, like certain ones, I was like, yeah, that was good or whatever, and it was fine. Like it hit that fine line of like I didn't regret spending my time watching this, but I might not go back and watch it again, if that makes sense. Some of them, yeah, you can go back and just like, I wasn't that strong. I don't know. I feel like X-Men Last Stand gets a lot more hate than maybe it deserves, and maybe that's a hot take. I'm trying, like, it's been, okay, granted, it's been a while since I've seen some of these movies, so maybe it's just not as fresh in my mind of how butt it is. But just thinking about it right now, I don't know. Last Stand just doesn't feel like as shitty as people put it. Yeah. Origins Wolverine, though, that's a whole nother story. Are there cool aspects of that movie? Yes, absolutely. I know a lot of people were upset with Deadpool getting, his mouth shut and the whole handling of his character. But I did think it was cool in a way of how obviously like Gambit was very cool in that movie, how we saw him. It was a short one, but Blob in that movie was a cool like kind of side character. We obviously got a little bit more history with Stryker being in the story, and obviously figuring out how Wolverine got the claws with the adamantium. So, I thought it did a good job overall of giving that backstory. It's just like, I don't know. Last Stand killing off Cyclops off screen. Was it off screen? Yeah, I guess it was. I thought that was good for the storytelling in Last Stand. He finds Jean. Yeah. No, I remember that. I thought that was good for the storytelling. Of like, oh shit, problems. Just the shades, right. Of like how serious this problem is, and her being the Dark Phoenix, or being the Phoenix at this point, sorry. So yeah, because I liked, I'm forgetting the actor's name. I like the guy who plays Cyclops. Like I said, I thought the casting in the original 3 were very, very good. For who they got to play who. James Marsden. Can't stop getting killed off. He's similar to Sean Bean in that aspect. But yeah, I thought that was really good for the storytelling of, like I said, showing the gravity of like, oh shit, this is a problem. Let's see. I tried watching them all with the kids the other day and discovered I can only watch about 2 at a time. My brain starts to try and track the order of events there. Yeah, that is another thing that the X-Men movies, I guess, overall just did not handle well, is timelines. Yeah, that's definitely a negative throughout. It's unfortunate, but, oof. Sometimes it can't be overlooked in a way, or just makes you scratch your head so much. So yeah, going back to Origins. So yeah, Origins I thought was okay. I can definitely understand the criticisms of it not being the best. One that I definitely feel like does not get enough love is The Wolverine. Not the best movie ever, but like I didn't see any negative aspects in this film that were like, oh, that was god awful, or at least nothing that's coming to mind that stands out. Excuse me. I feel like this movie just got like a lot of hate because of Origins, to be honest. It just had that like people preconceived notion, I guess is the right term. Like a lot of people are just like, oh, this is a direct sequel to that. No, thank you. But yeah, the Wolverine was really good. You got Silver Samurai in there, which was dope, and it was just a dope, like, singular storyline that didn't have to tie in super much into the rest of the X-Men universe. I really enjoy that movie. Haven't seen it in a while, but yeah, I just think that one does not get as much attention as it should. Skip ahead to Logan, obviously a few years, and Logan was fucking fantastic. If you haven't seen Logan, once again, another similar to The Wolverine, another standalone story. You get a little bit of callbacks here and there, some references to Last Stand, some other characters showing up, but man, that movie is fucking great. Yeah, really, really good. Logan is. If you guys haven't seen it, highly recommend it. Definitely a different tone than the rest of the movies. More violent than the other ones, and I think it's rated R. Has that darker tone. Yeah, it gets foreshadowed, so it does have the connective tissue to the Wolverine for sure. Fantastic movie. Fantastic. And then we get to the beginning films, or the X-Men Beginnings, or whatever they're called. We got First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix. This is where we start falling apart. Not gonna lie. We start off, I really enjoyed First Class. Not even gonna lie. I understand the criticisms we have. We got Darwin, the hero that can't die and adapts to stuff. Dying immediately. That's definitely a bad one. That is definitely a bad one. But I thought they introduced a lot of cool characters. We got Azrael. We got Banshee was really cool. I didn't expect to like him as much. We got Havoc was cool. Obviously, we got a lot of origins for like Beast and Mystique and the young Charles Xavier and young Magneto, which once again, casting, they did really well. They continued on that trend with getting the actors for this film. I think it starts falling apart in... I'm trying to think. I think it's Days of Future Past. We start seeing the new Cyclops and new Jean Grey, if I'm not mistaken, or is that Apocalypse? Future Past was a good movie. I enjoyed that one a lot. Obviously, we get the mix of the new and the old timelines weaving together. I know story-wise it can be a little bit confusing because we're jumping back and forth in between timelines here and there. But Days of Future Past is a fun one for them to tackle and to do. And then, yeah, Apocalypse. Apocalypse, they don't show up until Apocalypse. Okay, thank you very much. Days is pretty solid. Okay, so yeah, Apocalypse is the start of the, oh boy, the downfall. Yeah, I don't know. So they get a new Cyclops, they get a new Jean Grey, we get a new Nightcrawler. We get, I feel like there's another one or two that get added in there. I don't think Jubilee's till Dark Phoenix. New Storm, right? Who was barely in this thing? New Angel. Young, yes, true. I don't know. It did not do, like, ugh. Another Caliban. I'm trying to remember that one. I don't remember Caliban too well. Yeah, I don't know. Apocalypse just did not have a strong storyline, and I had so much hope for like Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse. I know a lot of people made the Ivan Ooze references, comparisons. Logan came out a year after. It just didn't, I don't know, something about it just did not connect as well. And Dark Phoenix, like, was a tale of like 8 different stories being mashed together. I think Act 3 was the best, and like that was filmed differently, or like a different director was in charge of it. I remember hearing some weird thing. I think it was Act 3 was the best. I think it was, because it was like filmed and shot all differently. Oh God, I remember going to that movie, and my buddy Noel and I were just like afterwards, like, what the fuck? What happened? I don't know. There's not much to say, just other than ugh with that, to be honest. I don't know if it was the pacing of how they were telling that. If you take it on its own, Dark Phoenix is okay, but if you watch it in the frame of the others, it's terrible. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, you could take any of these where it's like, oh, that's good, oh, that's bad, and like you separate yourself as much as you can from everything else or all the opinions. If you go into it with that blank slate, you're gonna get something out of it that is at least, all right. So, yeah. Rolling to the Deadpools. Deadpool 1 was great just because it was what people wanted. And Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds did a fantastic job playing the character. I don't have much to say about Deadpool 1 and 2 other than Deadpool 2. I don't know. It was fine. It just felt like now, don't get me wrong, it did have a different storyline. But it felt very much like almost like a rehash of the first one. Very similar to how, like, okay, Star Wars Episode 7, it's not the same exact thing, but it's very similar to New Hope in Episode 4. I feel that way with Deadpool 1 and 2. It's like very, very similar. And like I like the ending. I like how they had Juggernaut in there, and I don't remember the importance of the kid too much, but I did like the finale, the end act. I don't know, it just seemed too similar. I see theatrical or uncut version. I'm assuming this is a question for both, or is it just for 2? I think I definitely saw both in theaters. 2, I don't know if I've seen the uncut. I might have 2 specifically. I might have the uncut on DVD media, but I don't remember. I always thought Deadpool 1 was a love revenge story, and 2 was like a spiral redemption story. Fair. Doesn't change a lot. Okay. But yeah, I just thought both stories were very similar, in my opinion. So it's just like I'm watching the same movie, almost. Maybe it was just the jokes and stuff like that, but it was just more Deadpool. So if you like Deadpool, like, why wouldn't you want more Deadpool? And then we get to New Mutants, which, like I said, I did not watch. There's a reason I did not watch it. I think it came out during pandemic, so there was that. So I wasn't going to go out and watch it. When they first announced it, they announced it as a horror film. And if you know anything about me, I am not about that. Not about horror films. So I was like, maybe this one's not for me. I do remember that first initial trailer, they did have very heavy thriller horror vibes. And then if you don't know about New Mutants, it had development hell. This movie was originally supposed to launch, oh God, I want to say 2016. Let's see. Filming took place. The film... Okay, April 2018 release was when this was supposed to come out. It was delayed so much. So much. And just, oh boy, it was in development hell. And the thing is, like, it had some cast members that, like, I was like, oh, cool, so-and-so's in it. Like Macy Williams from Game of Thrones. We had, what's the guy's name? Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things. Like, it had cool actors in it. And I was like, oh, all right. But yeah, it just, oh God, just never could get off the runway, and finally pumped it out in August. And yeah, I don't think it did too well. Jeff says he enjoy it. They can enjoy about everything. Fair enough. I mean, hey, if it's good and people liked it, more power to them. I don't know if I have any interest to see it at all. Give me everything mixed with horror. Yeah, no, I'm not about that. Not about that. So yeah, I don't know. A lot of ups and downs with the X-Men films. We mentioned earlier the timeline stuff. There's some characters that don't get enough screen time or like don't get enough love. Like Psylocke was in movies for like a second. Like Olivia Munn was in, I think it was Apocalypse, and didn't do shit. We talked about the Sabretooth recast. The recast was good. We got Blob just being a fun little cameo. Jubilee also being in fucking Apocalypse, doing not much. X-23 was great. I love cheeseburgers. New Mutants was no cheeseburger. I enjoyed it. Fair enough. Yeah. I got some good Juggernaut stuff. Let's see. Who else we got in here? We got Katie Pryde in there. Yeah. Never see the road cut of Days of Future Past? I think I did. That didn't change too much either, did it? I know I own it. I'm pretty sure I've watched it. But, yeah, it didn't end up changing that much either. If I recall. Yeah, I don't know. It, like, just with the recent WandaVision stuff, it just had me thinking of, like, what happened with those movies. Obviously, Disney bought out Fox and all that stuff. So, it's not like those movies are continuing, but it's going to be interesting to see, obviously, with Disney now owning these rights, like, are we going to start fresh with the X-Men, or are we going to somehow try and take the multiverse aspect and throw these characters in? Which, if they do, like, okay, which ones do we want? Which ones don't we want? Like, because there's the pluses and minuses of the franchise entirely. So it's going to be interesting to see how these X-Men characters come into play in the MCU, if they do, which most likely they will because they are popular characters. But, like, how do you work those in their history? Because there's a lot of it without, like, shoehorning it or just being like, oh, yeah, they were around the whole time. You just didn't notice it. Like, I don't think they would do that. So it's a matter of, like, how do you do this in a smart way that works, I guess. So we'll have to see. Jeff says wait. So Wanda now has reality powers, so she could kind of add them in. Is that what you're saying? Just like, Hex rewrites DNA. Yeah, that's what we're talking about with Photon. She can expand it. Mm-hmm. So are all the people in the town now going to be mutants or superpowered? Yeah, she snaps and covers the planet. Really going House of M with it. And with it, maybe it's the power of the Mind Stone. It gives them their powers, and then from there she can kind of give them theirs. Yeah, I mean there's verse. Well, she'd add mutants, yes, I guess. But same concept of like snap and then things change. Yeah, so it's either we could use that, Wanda giving them powers, or Hulk mentioned it in Endgame, the snap causing a big amount of radiation in that area. I think that would be a sly way to kind of add that, because I mean, why otherwise? Why bring up that data that fact unless it was just like, I have to be the one that snapped because I've survived radiation, blah blah blah, which it could have been. It's just like that could be once again a sly way of them nudging that in there. The thing is, like, okay, do you use the history of Magneto and Xavier, or do you just skip that entirely? Because, like, obviously Magneto has the history of World War II and whatnot. Do you just kind of go in with whole new mutants or these characters or whatever? But they'll figure it out. There was rumors of Storm for Black Panther 2, but we don't know what's going on with that film and those things, so who knows? Assume they start with sprinkling secondary characters. Not going to show a new Wolverine. Oh yeah, no. I don't think that either. No, for sure. They'll be smart about it. It's just like, how is the big question. Not like I don't have faith in them. I'm just curious of like, what's their idea going to be that is going to logically explain these things? Like, how are you going to introduce these characters in the universe? Is all I'm thinking. Just something to look forward to. Moving on to topic 3. I want to talk some NXT. NXT Takeover Vengeance Day is tomorrow. So I'm going to quickly talk about the card, talk about my predictions, what I think is going to happen, what I hope happens. So NXT Takeover is always exciting. Always exciting. If you're not a wrestling fan, if you ever get the opportunity to watch a Takeover, I highly recommend it. So we got 5 matches for the card, it looks like. We got the Women's Dusty Road Tag Team Classics Finals. We got Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. So there's that. We have the men's final in the Dusty Road Classic. We got MSK, Wesley and Nash Carter versus the grizzled young veterans, James Drake and Zach Gibson. We got the NXT North American Championship, Johnny Gargano versus Kushida. We got the Women's Championship, Io Shirai versus Toni Storm versus Mercedes Martinez. And NXT Championship, Finn Balor against Pete Dunne. So yes, it's going to be an interesting event. All titles except for obviously the Cup winners. So let's just start from the bottom, and now we're here. So we got both the cups, the Dusty Rhodes Cups. First, the women's one we got going on. It's been interesting to see the competition there. Glad some teams got some, highlighted. We got Catanzaro and I'm blanking on Caden something. Got them a little bit more established as a team, getting some time. We got the new characters in Penelope. Is that her name? Crew? No. There was 2 new signees that showed up in this tournament. Didn't go far. I think they got out in the first round. It was nice to see them introduced in the tournament as well. I'm leaning towards Dakota Kai and Raquel in this one. Raquel's got a lot of momentum behind her with the series with Rhea and their matches lately. I don't know. Moon and Blackheart have an interesting kind of gimmick together of the almost like a Mad Max type thing with both their gimmicks kind of clashing together. So I could see them winning. I could see either team winning, but I think I got to lean towards Kai and Gonzalez here just because I think it makes a little bit more sense with the momentum. Now the real question is does the winner of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic for the ladies, does that give them a good shot at Jax and Baszler, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler for those women's tag titles? We haven't had the tag titles shown up at NXT since Bayley and Sasha popped down over the summer. I think that could be good. NXT's got the most, well, maybe not. got more ladies tags, I think, than the main roster does. So it might make sense to at least pop them down there. Maybe give them the belts, because Nia Jax and Shayna should not have them. Not because they're not good, just because I think they should be doing different stuff. So, I don't know. I think that can be interesting if they do that. If they do, Kyan Gonzalez heel versus heel team might not work out in my favor. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm going to say officially my guess is Kai and Gonzalez winning that final. Men's Dusty Road Tag Team Classic Finals, MSK and Grizzled Young Veterans. I think this one's a clear shot. I think it's got to be MSK. I think it's got to be the Rascals winning this. A new hot tag team in NXT joining, and then obviously you've just been giving them the fucking rocket, crushing these matches here. I do like Grizzled Young Veterans. I think they're really good. I've watched a couple matches of theirs, but I think it was the NXT UK Takeover. It might have been the first one. Was really, really good. Yeah, I think they got a lot of talent. So, I think it's going to be a good match either way. But yeah, I think MSK's got to take that all the way. So that's my official guess there. Probably a safe one, but we'll see. North American Championship, Johnny Gargano and Kushida. Okay, this one's a tough one. Gargano's got the... I can't remember what the team's called, but he's got Austin Theory, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell in his corner. So he's got the backup there. I think Kushida hasn't had really a super strong push since showing up. He had the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Cup last year. That was a fun moment with him and Alex Shelley reforming Time Splitters, or whatever the time is, or the team is called. That was fun. He's had good matches. He had a really good match with, was it Ciampa a couple takeovers ago? He's a cool character, and he's very talented in the ring. No, it was Velveteen Dream, excuse me. Very talented in the ring. I want him to win, because I think this will help kind of push him to that next level of, like, relevance, if that makes sense. I don't think if Gargano loses, I don't think that damages him. Like, he still keeps his what's the word I'm looking for? Keeps his star power. Like, a loss does not burn him here. So I'd like to see Kushida win. I think that will kind of help propel him to the next level, make him a little bit more seen as the star, I guess. But yeah, that one's also another up in the air. So I'll say Kushida is my official pick for that one. Ladies, NXT Women's Championship Triple Threat: Io Shirai, Toni Storm, Mercedes Martinez. Oofa. I keep saying this about every match. This one's a tough one. But it is. I don't know if Io's been doing anything the past couple weeks. Tony and Mercedes are part of the women's tag, but they lost early on. I think it was round 1. So, the question mark is here. Mercedes shown up recently, so I feel they'd want to push her, and they took her away from the Retribution storyline on the main roster. So, like, they want her to do something. But Tony recently showed up from the UK brand. I think that was last takeover she made a return. So the question is what route do you want to go? Does Io retain and then we just build to a Mania thing? Or is Io going to get called up for maybe something? Maybe post-Mania? It's interesting. Mercedes Martinez hasn't really won me over fully. Like, she's definitely got the talent. I just don't know if I fully connect with her as a character. I don't know if she has that charisma behind her yet. So I kind of want to lean towards Tony taking it. crap. I don't know. That's a real tough one. Because not that Io's weak. It's just like I said, I don't know what she's been doing lately. So I'm not sure if she retains. And like I said, there's always that chance that she gets called up. But at the moment, not that it means anything. At the moment, it doesn't make sense for her to get called up. Like, there's nothing. Where does she fit in? But that hasn't stopped Vince before of calling people up and then not having shit for them to do. So I'm going to go bold choice. I'm going to say Tony. Tony Time takes it. Becomes champ. And then we got Finn and Dunn. As much as I want my boy Pete Dunne to win, even though he's a heel now, I think it's clear cut that Balor's going to take it. I think him versus Karrion Kross, they're setting up way more than anything with Dunn. I think Dunn is kind of a filler, similar to how Bianca was last year between Rhea, with Rhea, and then obviously Charlotte doing the Mania thing, which is unfortunate because, I mean, Bianca didn't deserve that and Pete doesn't deserve it here. I'm glad he's getting a title opportunity, don't get me wrong, especially as the longest reigning UK champion. I think Walter still hasn't been that. Maybe he has. But like, Dunn's got the skill, he's got the charisma, he's got the talent. It's just I don't think he has a chance against Balor to win. Even with Lorcan and Birch on his side as backup, it's like, like I said, I think it's just filler. I think it's setting up for that Cross Balor moment, or if Edge does decide to go NXT route, which doesn't seem super likely, then we could do either a triple threat or an Edge versus Balor for that. But yeah, Cross has been kind of on since his return, kind of been on the fast track, like, okay, how can we get the belt back on this guy as fast as we can, since he lost it just due to injury and had to relinquish it instead of obviously lose it in a match. So it's like, okay, well, that's where we were at. Let's see how we can get back to that spot. What's the most logical way? That would be also interesting. Not that Dunn couldn't do an interesting match with Cross, but we've kind of already set it up a little bit with Balor. So yeah, I think Balor takes this one. I hope Dunn can get back in that picture and capture that title because obviously, like I said, he's great, but just not his time, unfortunately. Hoo-wee. All right. Well, this has been another episode of the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast. My name is Bret, a.k.a. Enigma9011, and I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching or listening to the podcast today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to join the conversation like Jeff and Papa Griff and others did today, like New Zoo, you can go over to twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Join the chat, join on the conversation. We'd love to have you. It always makes it more fun and exciting. If you can't catch it live, that's okay. You can go over to YouTube and SoundCloud the following week where it's posted out topic by topic and as one big video and MP3 the following Friday. Last but not least, remember #add merch store and get all of your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand. Support us. It would be greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you're enjoying Wandavision. Hopefully you enjoyed a little wrestling talk, a little X-Men talk. We're going to be talking more Wandavision next time with episodes 7 and 8. So hopefully you can keep tackling this mystery together. So do your homework so you can chat with us. We'd love to have you. But thanks again for watching. Thanks again for listening. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.